Hello and welcome to Averages Assemble, the average podcast hosted by average guys that know a pretty average amount about an average amount of stuff. And we're going to talk about it anyway. My name is Lewis.
And I'm George. Hello.
Hello, George.
We're back.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Day.
Oh, snap.
See, we're meant for each other.
Oh, cute. You cute.
I didn't get you a present because I didn't know what flowers you liked.
I got you a present.
Did you?
Yeah, it's this podcast.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll get you something in return. I'll get you next week.
Thanks. Just full disclosure before we do this podcast, I am quite hungover, so if I sound not as enthusiastic as usual, I did like the
very
episode.
Unprofessional of you.
Yeah, sorry about that.
How dare you? See, this is the commitment. Some Valentine's Day this has turned out to be.
So what are we talking about today?
I'm very glad you asked, because today we're talking about WandaVision episode 7?
6?
6?
I think it's 6. The Halloween special.
I'm messed up now.
Yeah, episode 6.
Well, 6 or 7.
The Halloween episode.
6. Yeah, talking about episode 6, which for me so far has been my favourite episode.
It's definitely up there.
But then I think I just like every episode that comes. Like the latest one is like my favourite one. It normally happens with Marvel films as well. I'm like, oh, that's my favourite one. Oh, that's my favourite one.
Yeah, I think so. This is definitely the 2000s era sitcom, isn't it? Which means that either they skipped 90s or they sort of folded it in with the 80s one, and then I don't think they were completely married to every decade, unless it had a valid reason. Every decade doing a thing, because also I think like the 90s sitcoms. I mean, there's nothing that like makes them stand out other than just like the live studio audience and sitcoms. Which is weird because the 90s was like probably the most successful era for sitcoms.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But like Seinfeld and Friends, etc.
Yeah, but like Seinfeld and Friends, there's nothing about them that makes them not stand out. But you get they're very vanilla. Whereas like Malcolm in the Middle, they've got the talking to the camera kind of.
Yeah, aspect, but it's we probably just think that because we're so used to the 90s ones. Like that's became like the standard. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I do know what you mean. And also, I don't think there's any, that I can think of, big sort of family sitcoms from the 90s.
That's the other thing. They're all about friends and whatnot, aren't they?
Yeah.
So. But I did like
kids in the 90s.
Yeah. But then, because it's like, it's the whole family now. It makes sense to go for a more kind of family-esque.
Yeah. And the whole Malcolm in the Middle thing works with the kids, obviously, talking to the camera and stuff.
I know we said before, but I would watch this sitcom. Like
just as it is. It's almost like when it went to the bit where they were showing the sword agents and that, I was kind of like, I kind of want to go back and watch.
Yeah, I'm happy just to stay in the sitcom world. It's
Uncle
I
Pietro.
thought this was but this was a really, really weird episode. Good, but
crazy,
weird. Like it brought up so many questions.
So obviously it just jumps straight into it with Pietro, Quicksilver, just sort of he folds in without like having an introduction sort of thing. It's almost like he's just always been there. It's just Uncle Pietro's on the sofa kind of thing.
Yeah. And they start unraveling it as they go on. But...
Yeah. What do you think of the comic accurate costumes?
Oh, I loved it. It was perfect. Like
I like how they explained it. But
but there was no other way they could do it without it being done this way.
I thought for Vision, so obviously Scarlet Witch said she was a fortune teller, Sokovia, and they can get away with it like that. I thought they were going to say Vision was dressed up in a Halloween costume of Vision, because surely that exists in this universe. Because the Avengers are famous, people know. I mean, obviously we found out later Vision doesn't know who the Avengers are, but I genuinely thought that's what they were going to go with. Well,
I don't think the Avengers exist in this.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because only when Monica mentioned Ultron that Wanda was like, "What? Hang on, huh? How do you know about Ultron?"
Because I just wasn't sure how they were going to explain Vision's costume. Like, he's like they end up going with Mexican wrestler, which I guess makes sense. But yeah, so obviously, I was going to say Ultron. Then Vision is a Mexican wrestler.
Yes, Wanda is a Sokovian fortune teller.
Do you think? Obviously, she's come up with. He makes the point of saying that there was no other clothes in my closet. So he's fully aware that she's just making all this shit up now, like no questions asked. but he's sort of just going along with it just to please her, I think. So, and then until he gets time to, investigate,
work out. Yeah, but I was confused by that because it almost seemed like she'd removed all his clothes so he had to dress up. But then he says, "Oh no, I'm dressing up to go in disguise." Yeah, a bit odd. But it shows that this episode shows he's got a lot of free will that the others don't have.
For sure. Yeah, he's fully out of it. I think the only reason he is going along with what she says is just so he doesn't piss her off, I think. Yeah, so Vision is clearly.
Let's just jump. Should we just jump? Oh, yeah, go on. I was going to say we'll just jump to Quicksilver, but no, we can keep talking about Vision if you want.
I was just going to wrap up saying, like, clearly he's got free will, and he's just going along with what she's saying to sort of to please her. Not to please her, but like, he's giving her a little bit so she doesn't get too suspicious.
Antsy about it, yeah. But then also he did leave the Hex this episode, so he now knows that there's, assuming he retain his memories, he'll now know there's a world outside there, and also Darcy's come in.
Yeah.
But will Darcy coming in rewrite her mind?
Like it did with Monica.
But then Monica remembered, didn't she?
Was she aware of it the whole time? I can't remember.
I don't think they ever say.
Because if she was aware of it, then I'm assuming Darcy will be aware of it and possibly try and talk to Wanda.
Or at least work with Vision and those two together.
Do you think Vision's going to be fine? Because obviously he started to come apart once the Hex was expanded and, it pulled him back in and that. Do you think he's going to be okay? Because does it show him back to normal? I can't remember. Yeah,
I think I thought it did. I thought that was the idea.
It might have,
back, and then he kind of gets like revived.
Piece back together. What
was?
Did you think he was going to drop dead when he left the?
Yeah, I thought he was going to stumble out and just
which kind of makes me think that it's not just an illusion that he's back. Maybe he is back to life.
Yeah. That's. Hang on, just turn this down. Yeah, that was what was weird, was because he came back as original recipe chicken, not left in the sun to go pale Vision.
I thought you said chicken then.
Did I say chicken? I meant to say Vision. In my head, I was like, I said chicken. I'm going to say
original recipe chicken.
He came out as original recipe Vision instead of coming out as left in the sun bleached Vision with a hole in his head.
Yeah.
Which also begs the question: what will happen to Pietro when this is all over?
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about Quicksilver, because I think this is obviously the big thing of the episode.
First off, I very much I know this is a character Quicksilver, like for the sitcom, but I really love the dynamic this Quicksilver cave.
Yeah.
It's a shame Taylor Johnson couldn't redo it, which I don't know why. I don't understand why he can come back.
What, for the whole thing, or just for? Because know that when they show him as dead, like she looks at him and I thought that was gonna be Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Well, that's what I mean.
But then obviously they're not going to bring him back for like one split-second shot. They're going to have to pay him probably like $1 million.
And put him in makeup. Like, could you imagine that? Like, oh yeah, you're going to be Quicksilver. We're killing you off in the first movie, but you can come back in like 6 years' time for one shot where you're dead, and then we're going to get someone else to play you.
I mean, they did. They showed some clips of Age of Ultron, didn't they? In the recap.
Well, that's what I mean. It's
which means they're fully acknowledging that version of Quicksilver, and they're acknowledging that this isn't the same version.
Because I mean, Darcy does say herself, "Oh, she recast Pietro."
Yeah.
So even in the universe, this is a recasting, changing his appearance.
He seems to have the memories of MCU Quicksilver, because he says, last thing I know, I was getting shot in the street, and then
I woke up here.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the X-Men Quicksilver. I think this was just a casting choice.
I think
it just worked out. I think if they hadn't have done a X-Men Quicksilver in the last few films, this would have just been Taylor Johnson coming back.
Yeah, but I think it's an amalgamation. Like he's from a reality where he is the MCU Quicksilver, but he looks like the X-Men one, maybe. Or he's from a reality where it's just an amalgamation. Like certain things, some things happened, some things didn't.
Yeah, I don't think this is like the Quicksilver that's fought Apocalypse and whatever the other bad guys in those films were.
Probably Jean Grey at some point.
Yeah, because that Quicksilver was born in the 60s or 70s.
Oh yeah, he was a kid in the 60s. Well, yeah, that's
those
why
films never made sense, because it's like it's been 10 years and they've aged 2. You think,
It's been 40 years and he's aged 3 years.
Right.
Yeah, I think. Do you think? So he is aware of what Wanda is doing. Like he even says to her, "What happened to your accent?" Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, well, she says it to him, and then he says it back. He's like, "How are you doing this?" sort of thing. So he's fully aware of what she's doing.
Yeah, and about the whole kids, and he's like, I think it's quite, you've solved the moral ambiguity questions of it, like keeping families together. So I think he's been planted there by someone else.
That was my thought as well. When he starts asking her questions like, "You can talk to me, I'm not your husband." It's like, that sounds dodgy. Seems like you're trying to weed information out of her. I do hope he is real though. I hope, because I'd like to see him become a character in further films.
Yeah, but it was weird because in the opening credits, the only other character in it other than Wanda and the family is Agnes. And then his thing says Pietro Maximoff as himself, not just like Pietro Maximoff. So I think that might be a bit of a... I don't know if that's just saying that, no, it is him, don't worry, it's definitely him.
Yeah.
Or if they're going to change it in some way. But I thought it was a bit odd that.
Well,
and again, having Agnes in the opening cast.
Yeah, it could have just been a nod to the sort of thing they do in sitcoms when they have like a big guest star kind of thing. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, hopefully he's going to be in the next 3 episodes, but for all we know, he could end up just like, being snuffed in the next episode.
Well, she pushed him into a bale of hay, didn't she?
Oh yeah, she milked him.
But that was to stop. But then was that because she wouldn't have had control over him? Because she freezes Westview, didn't she?
Oh yeah.
So do you think she did that to think of, I need to get you out of the way right now, I can do my bit?
Maybe, so she can't control him then? At all, because he's aware of what she's doing. He seems to remember their past, because there's obviously a flashback to Sokovia.
And she tries to test him about the orphanage, doesn't she?
Yeah. So she's suspicious of him. But he doesn't seem suspicious of her. He seems to just know what's going on and he's cool with it.
Yeah. So they're gonna have to keep him around to solve all these answer these questions.
He also mentions about the kids, which we haven't actually talked a lot about yet. He mentions that they're like, he says, "My little spawn of Satan" or something like that.
Yeah, demon spawn, don't they? Or
Something like that, which obviously could be a hint to Mephisto, which is what everyone keeps talking about. He's a bit of a demon.
Or is that just a throwaway like the Kick-Ass?
Oh, the Kick-Ass line. Oh my god. Okay, for those who don't know, obviously Aaron Taylor Johnson and what's the other guy's name? Sorry,
Evan Peters.
They were both
Evan Peters.
They were both Quicksilver and they were both friends in Kick-Ass, and Marvel made a point of pointing that out.
I mean, that's like a Flash TV show level, like nod and a wink.
Yeah.
Like, I enjoyed it. Have you ever seen there's a short, the Robot Chicken?
Yeah.
They do a thing where the nerd character.
Oh yeah. And he goes
to all the different CW shows. He goes to the Flash, and one of the what's his name? One of the computer ones is like, there's a robbery at the communal bank on the corner of Jim Dale and Bill Finger Street, and he looks and winks at the camera. And it's like,
it literally is a reference like that. But
I don't know if it's just one of those. Because Kick-Ass is Millarworld Comics, isn't it? It's not.
It's definitely not Marvel or DC, as far as I know.
But yeah, I don't know. I just really like this. I think because I just like the sitcom as a whole. Like I would again keep watching that episode of.
Well, it's getting closer and closer to the era of sitcoms that we sort of grew up watching. So I think it probably hits home a bit more for us, for our generation, sort of thing. This episode.
Yeah. So I wonder if the next one they'll just jump straight to like the Modern Family kind of sitcom.
Yeah. Well, I guess if they do sort of the 2010s next episode, and then they got the last 2 episodes to do all like the big event and wrapping up and all that would make sense.
Yeah.
Should we?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah. I mean, go.
I was going to say, I was going to move on, but it's...
well, the only other thing to talk about in this episode was Hayward's tracking vision, isn't he? He's tracking the vibranium.
Yeah. And he's a big dick.
Yeah. What were they saying about a missile? I don't remember.
They were going to shoot Wanda, weren't they, with the drone?
Oh, yeah. Oh, is that what... Because they said, you sent that missile in. I was like...
Yeah. He was going to shoot a rocket at her. It was a bit overkill. I mean, I guess not when you're dealing with Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I thought, because I just thought it was like, I don't know, like a bullet. So I was like, what missile are they on about?
Do you think that Hayward is either not who he says he is, or he's like I've seen some theories floating around that he could be either a Skrull or he could be Mephisto. What do you think is his deal? Or is he just
I think he's just a
guy?
Yeah, the evil government agent. I don't think that there's any more layers to him.
Yeah. I just feel like he was like he suddenly flipped on Monica like a bit too hard. He suddenly just got really personal. And like, quite like you didn't need to say that, bro. Like, just have them removed. You don't need to be a dick about it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And it was like, I think there's something more at play here.
Yeah, like they know something that we don't.
And I think it's just a case of they clearly did something to Vision, and they're like, crap, we need to tie up all these loose ends.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Maybe they're trying to recreate Ultron.
Maybe. I keep expecting him to show up. I thought when Vision touched the barrier, because you know, Pulse still blue.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be Ultron. Was going to like speak out and be like, "Hello, you," or something like that. And it was like, "Oh, this whole thing is Ultron or something." I don't know. So yeah, but then once again we got a nice little. We've got our Aerospace Engineer friend who we still don't know who it is.
Yeah, they're keeping us hanging on to that one, aren't they?
I did see something online. People thinking it might be Blue Marvel rather than the Fantastic Four.
I've also seen that pop up
because that would tie more in with the the Captain Marvel characters and stuff.
Is Blue Marvel like not related to Captain Marvel, but is he a character from her thing, or
I believe so? Yeah.
I thought he was just like a Superman-y type character.
Yeah, I think he is more associated with those kind of characters. A bit like how Black Panther was associated with the Fantastic Four for the longest time, even though he has his own solo thing. I mean, I still would love it to be the Fantastic Four, but I just don't know if that's the case. But they do keep hinting and nudging it.
It seems like it because like when they're at the cinema, on what the cinema is playing is The Incredibles and Parent Trap, and The Incredibles is clearly a Fantastic Four sort of homage.
But what's the Parent Trap about?
Well, I mean. I
know what the Parent Trap is about. I have seen it, but like,
I'm trying to find a connection. They
separated
have
at birth,
a
twins.
son.
Well, it's all about twins,
Franklin
isn't it?
Richards. Oh yeah, I suppose. I forget that Wanda and Pietro are supposed to be twins.
But that's what I mean. Like even Evan Peters looks more like he could be Wanda's brother than Johnson does.
I agree. And it also is less weird considering in Godzilla 2014, Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen played husband and wife.
I understood that. Then I've never seen the film either, so. But yeah, this was the first time I was like, I'm annoyed it's ended. Like I want to watch.
Yeah. I feel like that every week, to be honest.
Yeah.
As soon as that thing comes up, where it's like the end credit thing, I'm like,
please stand by.
Come on,
yeah, it's like,
just go longer.
Because like Disney Plus makes it look like there's like another 10 minutes or 20 minutes, and it's not. It's just credits. You think like, oh, for goodness sake.
No. Should we? Do you want to talk about the kids?
Yeah, what Wiccan and Speed?
Yeah, so we got Wiccan and Speed in the Wiccan is in his comic accurate Halloween costume, the headband and all, and they both sort of come into their powers in this episode. Do you think they're real?
They have to be, surely.
I think they are. I think either if they're not, they're gonna find a way to make them real.
Yeah, because it seemed like she didn't when she became pregnant at the end of episode 3. And she's just like ballooned out. She was a bit like, or 3 or 4, whatever episode it was. She was almost surprised that happened, similarly to the Pietro thing. So I think there was someone else there kind of enticing her to stay in this Westview world.
Yeah.
Because it was only when she started thinking outside of like the world that the twins, that she got pregnant, and then when Vision confronted her about his memories and being outside Westview, that's when Pietro showed up. So it does seem like there's someone going, oh crap, have some kids quick, have Pietro.
Yeah.
And like keeping her,
trying to lull her into sense of
give her what she wanted.
Comfort,
she's got the family. She's got the family, she's got the kids, she's got everything she needs in Westview. Why does she need to think outside of that? But yeah, I'm surprised they gave them. But then even then, like, going back to say I'd watch the sitcom, I would watch the sitcom of the superpowered family. Like,
why hasn't that been done? Has it been done? It probably has.
But he has. It was My Hero that played on the BBC for like 10 years.
Why do you think that they gave Wiccan his comic accurate suit and then they dressed up Speed like Quicksilver?
I think his Speed's costume is just a green Quicksilver one from memory.
He has like goggles and stuff, doesn't he? Or am I thinking of Impulse from DC?
I think they're very similar. I mean, I haven't got a real issue with it. I think it makes more sense because Quicksilver takes them off to get a costume, and like, you know, they're dressed in the same as
they also don't make a point of explaining Quicksilver's costume. They just, you know, it is what it is.
It's just in it, yeah. But again, I think that works. Like,
yeah,
for all of them. I always love when Marvel do the like original costumes. Like, I think the most tenuous, is that the word? Was Luke Cage's. Like,
that.
And he had the crown and like the yellow shirt, like a damn fool. Like, like that was funny.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other instances where they've done that.
I mean, Captain America, when he's on stage, he has his sort of accurate suit.
So with Iron Man 1, the Mark 1 is like his original Avengers suit, isn't it?
Even his Endgame one is sort of a little bit more comic accurate in the sense that the shoulders and arms are like yellow.
Yeah.
Like his old Silver Age suit. Or Golden Age. What about
we
Thor,
see the old
Thor has his helmet at the start of Thor and then never wears it again.
We see the old Ant-Man helmet in Endgame, don't we? In the lab.
Oh yeah.
Which looks really uncomfortable. Like, I can't imagine that being a functional helmet. When I look at it, I think
it makes no sense, does it?
No.
It's just a big dome.
Yeah. But yeah, I do wonder if the kids are going to come out of this, because I mean,
it would make sense considering they're bringing in Miss Marvel and Kate Bishop and Ironheart. It would then make sense to have Wiccan and Speed as well and do like a Young Avengers. Because where do you go after Endgame Avengers wise? You have Avengers 5, or do you go Young Avengers kind of thing, or both?
I don't. Yeah, I do think Young Avengers could be on the table, because I mean, the Miss Marvel would tie in with. I mean, you could make a kind of a link with Monica Rambeau. Monica Rambeau.
Yeah.
With that, so that ties that into this world. Kate Bishop and Hawkeye.
So everyone's I do think like a protege sort of thing.
Yeah, I do think that could be a way of getting in. The other thing I did want to talk about was Agnes's interaction with Vision.
Oh yeah. So what happens is he finds her in her car, sort of frozen. Like, we haven't even talked about the rest of the town being frozen. The further away you get from Wanda.
Oh yeah. So she's frozen the town.
Yeah,
like a bag of veggies.
On the very outskirts is Agnes sitting in her car, frozen, but crying. And then Vision touches her, and it's like she's suddenly out of trance, and she knows who Vision is. She knows who the Avengers are. She says she's being trapped or whatever, and then he sort of puts her back to the frozen state, which I'm still not 100% sure how he does that, but
yeah. But what's weird is she starts laughing hysterically.
Oh yeah,
while she's in that free state. So it's almost like
I wonder if she's lying. If she's
I thought that
she's gaslighting him.
Yeah, I think she's lying and wanted him to leave the border, maybe.
Yeah.
To get him out of the picture because he was starting to become too self-aware, and maybe she can't survive. So, I'm trying to leave, and please go get help. You're an Avenger. And then he's like, all right, I'll leave. He leaves, dies, and then Wanda hasn't got him then.
Yeah. So either she is just a town person, like a townsperson. That doesn't sound right. Or she is lying to him, and she's still involved.
She's dressed as a witch as well.
Yeah, it's just too on the nose for it to not be the case. She's definitely Agatha Harkness, isn't she?
Yeah,
there's no denying.
I can't see how they're going to do this twist without everyone seeing it coming. Like,
I don't know. I haven't seen anything coming so far, and they keep blindsiding me. At this point, they could literally do anything.
Yeah, I just never realized how long a week was until this series came out, and I'm like,
constantly waited.
But I think, I mean,
is there anything else we haven't talked about?
Other than Quicksilver having to seem to know. Oh no, he's covered that, haven't we? Quicksilver.
So at the end, she makes the hex larger. So clearly, she is doing it. Like, there's no question about that now. But do you think she's still doing it off her own will?
I think she is. I just don't think she started it, or I don't think she started it.
She doesn't know, does she? She doesn't know how it started. Quicksilver asked her. She doesn't know. So I think maybe she was coerced into doing it, and now she's been sort of like trapped by this idealistic life that she's now got with Vision and her kids and all sorts. Like, why would you want to leave that? You know what I
mean? Yeah. Sorry, I was just hiding a yawn. I know I'm still unsure of where Wanda sits in this story. Because she's not even made a note of like the sitcom thing yet. Because when she came out of the hex in the last episode, she was back to normal Scarlet Witch.
Oh yeah, she had a normal accent. She had her Avengers suit on,
and she was aware that this isn't a TV show.
Yeah, she's like, leave me alone, bitch.
But I suppose if the next one is like all the 2010 sitcoms where a lot of them are done like mockumentary style, talk to camera. Like,
I've seen some screenshots of her looking at the camera, so I think it is going to be a bit Modern Family-esque.
So is that then going to break it down? Is she then going to be like, who am I talking to? Is she going to have that moment where she realizes, hang on,
and if there's
outside of this world?
What I also don't understand or is confusing is that obviously before Darcy picked up on the frequencies, there was no one watching. So who is it for? Because I started to think that she's doing it sort of for the people that are watching on the outside, but she was still doing it before they picked up on that. Oh no, because it goes back in time, doesn't it? And it shows that they've watched it from the beginning.
Yeah, Darcy tunes in at one point.
So what happened before the 50s era? Or was that did it just start there and then they just happened to pick up the frequencies when they were in the 50s era?
I assume it just started there, maybe.
Like, what were they doing before then? Like, because they already had a whole base set up around it.
What, you mean Sword?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
they set it up because Monica went in, didn't she? She went into the hex.
Yeah, but then what happened? Because all the people were missing for a while, weren't they? Like, the whole town's missing. Like, but then they tune in and suddenly it's in the 50s. What was going on before then? Were they in the 40s? Was there sitcoms in the 30s? Like,
I don't know.
It's confusing.
I do hope they answer all the questions and they don't leave some bits vague.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they did.
And at the same time, I'm like, I don't think there's too much to answer. Like, there's too much to answer, so we're not going to answer it all. We're only going to answer some of the key points.
I think they're going to wrap it up, but then also they have said it sort of leads into Doctor Strange too. So it wouldn't surprise me if they left some of the things sort of unexplained until then.
Do you think we're going to get the secret episode everyone keeps talking about?
I hope so. And not only because I want more of the show, but also it fills the gap between WandaVision ending and Falcon and the Winter Soldier starting, which means that we have content for that week.
So I feel like that's going to be annoying as well, the weekly wait between that program. I mean, it'd be good for us, again, content-wise, but I'm going to be like, I just want a series. I can just binge it once. But then those episodes are longer, aren't they? They're about an hour long.
Yeah, and there's only 6.
Oh, wait. Oh, that'll be fine then.
Yeah.
We have to find some more content soon, my friend.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but no, I do. This, as much as this is a show that I would want to binge, and I've said that before, like, it works. I have missed having a show week to week.
Yeah,
where you are then discussing theories with everyone, and
it's nice having something to look forward to and theorize on, and then realize everything you thought was wrong the next week.
Exactly. Like, could you imagine saying in, I don't know, Civil War era, not Civil War era, but Civil War, the film time, like, oh yeah, Vision and Wanda are going to get a spin-off show where they're in a sitcom and Evan Peters is going to show up as Quicksilver.
Yeah, and it's going to have Darcy from Thor in it. And
the guy from Ant-Man, who actually wasn't even in the first Ant-Man film.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's mind-blowing, isn't it?
And there may or may not be the Fantastic Four in it as well.
Yeah. Which is why it just makes me think that they could literally do anything. Like nothing. I mean, stuff will shock me, but nothing. It's almost like there's nothing they can't do.
Just think how they're going to handle Deadpool 3. Like,
oh my god.
Oh,
I love theorizing about future stuff because I always think of stuff and then it never ends up looking how I thought. And because there's no possible way to imagine how it's actually going to turn out.
I mean, I remember thinking Age of Ultron was going to be like getting the band back together with the Avengers. And you were going to have this really cool moment of like, like when Captain America lands in Germany and Iron Man comes down to help.
Yeah.
Like, get a scene of that where there's going to be Iron Man and maybe like whoever the new Avenger is, let's say the Maximoff twins. Like, they were like, yeah, we'll help you. We want to be Avengers. It's like, like, in Infinity War, it's like, fine, all right, I guess I'll use the Guardians because they're all I've got. And then Cap drops in and takes out an Ultron bot, and then Thor comes in as well, and Hulk, and then like they're all like, we're not here to help you, we're here to help the people,
the world, like, and it just didn't happen like that.
No. I really wish. That's how I always wanted it. Yeah. The one thing I always wanted, and I think we discussed this in our ranking episodes, was I've always wanted a really casual Hulk transformation. Do you know, like when Tony Stark falls out the tower in Endgame, and he's like, boop, boop, and he just changes. Or even in Avengers, where he gets like the suit come on, and it's a real like, it's a moment, but it's kind of casual.
Yeah.
And we've never got that for the Hulk, where like he arrives kind of late. He's like, what's going on? What do you want me? And they're like, oh, we've got a Gigalith.
We sort of did we not have that exact thing in the Avengers? He turns up late, and then they're like, bringing the party in, and then he turns around, he's like, I'm always angry, and then he just casually turns to the thing and just doinks the space whale right on the nose.
But then that whole moment is the big like crescendo, right? The whole team is here now. Whereas like wanting to show up, be quick, like what happened? He's like, oh, we missed our train or something. Like before that, there'd been a fight on a train, say.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, just get out there and just go do your thing. Okay, cool. And as he like runs down a hill, he's like changing as he runs.
Yeah, I think it's because at this point in the MCU, this universe, apart from Smart Hulk, which is not the same, there hasn't really been a Hulk that is in control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in terms of working as a team, apart from obviously when the plot requires it at the end of Avengers.
And at the start of Age of Ultron.
Yeah, true.
Like he's a bit shaken up, but he's still with it.
It's not like the what do you call it? Avengers Assemble cartoon or Earth Mightiest Heroes, wherever it is, where Hulk is just a member of the team, like not Banner, it's just Hulk. Like,
yeah,
we haven't really had that.
Like we've never seen Banner use the Hulk. We kind of have it in Ragnarok, but like he's not used him as the weapon, if that makes sense.
Yeah, he's always like the last resort.
Yeah, like the bit when in Ragnarok when on the bridge and he's like, oh, they need me, or they need the Hulk. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. But then even then that's almost like a sacrifice thing, because he's like, if I turn into the Hulk, I'll never go back to being Banner. Yeah. Which again is another interesting point they never really play with, is like, if he changes, what's to say the Hulk won't ever want to change back?
Yeah.
But and another like, again, in the comics, the whole idea is they work in tandem, and like they eventually do become at peace with each other, being in the same body.
Yeah, I wonder if they did do that with this Hulk, it would kind of rob him of his one sort of main thing.
Yeah, don't make me angry. But then you could still do like the Hulk coming out like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting to be here. What's happening? And
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what they do with him in the future.
Yeah,
because I don't think he's not done yet, is he?
No, definitely not. No, but I don't know what other properties he can show up in.
She-Hulk,
I guess. Yeah,
Avengers 5,
big CGI budget. That's
but these shows have like a budget of 250 million.
Yeah, that is true.
These are movie level series.
That's what's nice about them, is they do take the shot, like they do have that movie quality shine to them.
You don't look at it and you think, well, it's a TV show, so I'll give it a pass.
Yeah, you watch like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you're like, oh.
Yeah. Like when they show Vision, I saw some people saying that, in certain shots he has human eyes, even when he's in his sort of Vision form. And I was thinking, it must just be because it's TV and it's budget and all that. But then they showed Vision in this when he was flying up in the air, and you look at his eyes and they are robot eyes.
Yeah, they're the weird like yellow circles. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, I'm just so gassed. But yeah, we'll just have to wait.
Looking forward to next week.
Yeah, hopefully we get the reveal of who this space engineer is. We can have a nice bit of a...
Yeah, they wouldn't hold it off for 3 episodes, would they?
No, have a bit more of a team up.
Yeah. So Monica and John Krasinski are... They didn't get caught in the hex, did they?
Do you realize what you just said?
I did.
Okay,
you got my reference.
I did, and I was like, "Is he doing that on purpose, or is he because he's thinking this is Reed?" And I'm like, "How deep is he going?" No.
Yeah, Jimmy Woo. They weren't caught in the hex, were they? They managed to get away.
They got out before.
It stopped moving, didn't it? She only increased it a certain size.
Yeah, and so did Hayward. He's still free with his 2 agents.
Is he?
Yeah. The van, like the end of it got touched, but they kept going.
Yeah. I did think when the end of it was touched, I thought the back of the car was going to turn into like
weird, like 1980s station wagon kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do, because then, I mean, assuming Hayward then bumps into Jim and Monica. Actually, that works even on another level. Then they're gonna because he hasn't got the big facility behind him now. He's like, all right, fine. Guess you guys.
They're gonna come to fisticuffs.
They're gonna be like, what the hell are you tracking Vision for? Blah blah. We're gonna get that reveal, and then it's gonna be like, right. Well, now we can use this going forward. Darcy, she must have been caught. Blah, blah, we've got to get her out. And
I did wonder that when he did kick Monica and the other 2 out, I thought then she'd start using her secret powers that I'm pretty sure she has.
Yeah, she's definitely got powers. I think she's going to be like the big gun to go in and help. I don't think it's going to be a Doctor Strange or anything. And if someone like that shows up, it'll be I'm here. Here's how you do it. I can't get involved for timeline reasons or whatever.
Yeah.
Pee off, and then it will be her having to use her powers, which I bet will be the cliffhanger of either the next episode or the episode after that.
It really wouldn't surprise me if someone like Doctor Strange did come in at the end of the series, and then Wanda goes off with him.
Oh yeah, I don't think they're going to be. If anything like that comes in, I don't think they're going to be in a big fight. I think it will be sit in this chair, look at this camera, and say your lines. Done. All right, off you go.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, because Nick Fury, again, to go back to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., because Nick Fury shows up in the first season,
oh yeah,
in the second episode and in the finale, and it was like, oh my god, that's like actual Samuel L. Jackson Nick Fury, and then he never turned up again.
Never showed up again. The budget wouldn't allow it.
Yeah. But I mean, even that was cool because it's like, oh yeah, because this universe has lived in, and then Ike Perlmutter got his greasy little paws all over it and ruined the show.
Yeah.
And Joss Whedon is a bad bloke.
I think he is a bad bloke, isn't he? Should we move on? Let's move on.
Yeah. I did give you a nice team up segue, but I don't know if you...
What did you say?
I was like, oh, well, we'll just have to hopefully see who this space engineer is. That would be a fun team up. And you went, yeah. Do you think John Krasinski? I was like, okay, that's fine.
I'm sorry, I did not... I'm going to put that down to being hungover.
That's fine. So the next part of this pod, we're going to look at some of our ideal team ups, given we've been talking about Doctor Strange and Fantastic Four showing up,
and John Krasinski.
Yeah, exactly. And things like the whole, we're getting to a point now where these characters can pop up in various platforms. So I thought it'd just be cool if we just have a couple of examples and who would you like to show up. For example, I always thought Hawkeye and Ant-Man would make a really good series.
Yeah, imagine all the arrows he could ride on.
But even still, you've got Hawkeye, who's he did the whole Ronin thing. He's a bit of a free agent, but he's still a SHIELD agent at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's a bit weird because even though he's like the government one, he's more happy breaking the rules than someone like Ant-Man, who is a criminal, who's like, yeah, but that's not nice. Come on, let's be friendly. I think
that's an interesting dynamic. I think
and you've got Ant-Man who isn't actually got powers; it's just the suit.
Yeah.
So then, what is he if the suit's gone? I mean, we got that with Iron Man 3, but I think with Ant-Man it could be a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
Showing that Scott is. I don't know. I just thought that would always be a fun miniseries, seeing those two run around, especially as they're both dads as well. And
you could a new Disney Plus show, Dad's on the Run.
Yeah, reboot Daddy Daycare as an MCU property with Hawkeye and Ant-Man running it.
I would watch that.
Oh, hands down. I would make a whole podcast dedicated to it. Like,
I would.
Is there any other characters you'd want to see team up?
I would like to see Loki and Doctor Strange have an adventure.
Oh, that could be good.
Given how they are both sorcerers,
and
they had that little exchange in Thor Ragnarok. But it would be nice to see them go on like a magical, and maybe even throw Scarlet Witch in there as well, and have like the 3 magical peeps go on a magical adventure. I think that would be interesting.
Is the Loki series coming up before Doctor Strange too?
I don't know. August, maybe?
Because is there a possibility
that
doesn't happen in the Multiverse of Madness?
Ooh. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't put it past them to do any of that.
Because that would be quite sick, like you say, seeing those 3 team up.
Yeah, because you don't really get a chance to see Loki do much of his magic, do you? He does
all he does is
the first Thor. But
yeah, and a little bit in the Avengers. He does like the whole Charlie Brown like hologram thing. But other than that,
yeah.
Oh, that's a good team up actually. Now the more I think about it,
I think Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston would have a lot of fun together. I think as well.
Because also Loki's not interacted with Scarlet Witch.
No, you're right. He hasn't been back to Earth since. Well,
they're saying that
Avengers.
Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch haven't interacted either. So,
well, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, they were both on the battlefield in Endgame.
Yeah, but so was Bucky and Howard the Duck. But I can't imagine them palling up anytime soon.
That's it. Bucky and Howard the Duck. That's my next one.
Howard the Buck. There, we did it.
We call it Bucky and Ducky.
Bucky and Ducky. Ducky Barnes.
Oh, God.
But even stuff like that they could do nowadays. Like there is nothing stopping them doing it. Howard the Duck teams up with Agent Sitwell. He's dead, but
he's been murdered. I would like to see.
He's been murked.
I would like to see Blade, Moon Knight, maybe Ghost Rider, some of like the edgier sort of heroes, and do like a Marvel Knights type thing, like series. You know, the edgy kind of will kill you like straight up.
Do they not just all have the same personality though?
Well, we haven't seen them yet, so I mean, we don't know. I mean, Moon Knight is sort of got split personality disorder, isn't he?
I would like to see the Punisher pop up as well if they're going to do that though.
Yeah,
because there's that really funny thing where the Punisher and Moon Knight meet. There's that panel.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
Castle, whatever his name is. It's like, how's the multiple personalities? Great. How's your dead family? It's like, oh.
Yeah. Have you seen that comic panel? I think it's fake. Where it's Moon Knight and he's gone into Dracula's castle and he's like, he's like, Dracula, where are you, big fucking nerd? Like, you owe me some money or something along those lines.
Oh, that would be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the idea of putting any of these heroes together. I mean, you know, Rocket Raccoon and Nebula having an adventure together, which they kind of do allude to in Endgame because they're the 2 that are in space.
Yeah.
Aren't they? As well as Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah.
But, like, even like that would just be a fun dynamic because, you know, he's a robotics engineer, she's a robot.
He keeps trying to tinker with her when she's not looking.
Yeah, and then you can even have a cool bit where on the battlefield and she's like, my arm's broken. He's like, all right, well, hold him off and I'll fix you. And he's like climbing over her and like tinkering away.
I mean, we don't know that they could do that in Guardians because I'm pretty sure Nebula is now officially a Guardian, right? Well,
she's got to be. If they haven't got Gamora, otherwise that's going to be a very...
Well, they have got Gamora.
They haven't. She ran off, didn't they? Because people was looking for her on the computer beforehand.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
And also, she's the old Gamora, or young...
Yeah, she's different Gamora. Where did she go? I can't even remember. The last thing we see of her is...
She just walks away from the battlefield.
But where? Like, she ain't got a spaceship. She's a green lady. She's walking into town.
Who knows? Well, there's all those portals going up into space. I'm sure she can just walk through one of those and end up in Xandar or something. Well, not Xandar, it's gone, but you know.
Yeah. I don't think Xandar is gone. I think he just decimated it. Like, he just killed a lot of people.
I do think, I think that's going to be the big plot point of Guardians 3 is finding Gamora.
Oh, yeah. And they got to bring in Adam Warlock as well after that teaser, the end of Guardians 2.
Yeah, although I'm pretty sure I saw James Gunn say that wasn't actually anything. That was just like, a teaser. It wasn't actually going to lead to anything. But
I don't like that. Like, what was the point?
Yeah. But then his whole shtick is he looks after the Infinity Gauntlet, doesn't he?
Yeah, or at least the Soul Stone. Is that right?
Yeah. I always thought it was.
Head?
I think so. Yeah. I always thought he was so emotionless that he was given the gauntlet because he didn't have the he was a being created without emotion to use it or something.
Well, maybe I don't know a lot about him, to be completely honest. I just know he's yellow.
Yeah, and he's got golden locks.
But
I think bring him back and see, now I'm excited for Guardians 3. I'm not normally excited for Guardians films, but
I think they're a good fun romp
because it's coming out after Thor 4, isn't it?
Yeah.
So is Thor going to be in the Guardians films?
Oh, excuse me. Well, they're in Thor: Love and Thunder. I've seen set photos, so I reckon they drop him off somewhere.
You think?
Like, he's been hanging out with them for a while, and then he's like, well,
I think they'll land to do a mission, and then he'll bump into Sif or something, and he'll be like, but I'm going off with her. You guys, go do your thing, and then they'll come back for the final fight, maybe.
Do you think they missed a trick with not making a film with all of them and calling it As Guardians of the Galaxy? I know he says that in Endgame, but that's the sort of batshit stuff that Marvel are doing that I would have thought that would be a real possibility.
Yeah, there is a chance they could call Volume 3 but then if they do that implies that there's more than just Thor on board as Guardian wise.
Yeah, no, does he say that at the end of Endgame? He's like, the Asgardians of the Galaxy back together again.
Pretty sure so. It's actually a team, the Asgardians of the Galaxy. That is a comic run.
Oh.
Yeah,
who's in it?
From Asgard that have ties to Asgard, including Angela, Thor's sister.
Yep.
Valkyrie.
Okay.
Kevin Masterson, the son of Thor's previous host, Eric Masterson. Throg. Scourge.
Mr. M16.
And the Destroyer. You know, from the first one.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting lineup. No Thor though.
No. Well, no, it's just spin-offs.
It's basically
who was it? So
side characters.
Kevin Masterson. Oh yeah, so he just has Thunderstrike. Well, yeah, I think we'll leave it there for today then. But let us know if you've got any team ups you'd like to see happen in the MCU going forward. I do think that's kind of where they're going to go now. Is they've got all these players all over the place and just kind of start pairing them up and kind of drip feeding the larger story into these now.
But as well as introducing all these new, all these new characters, they can literally introduce anyone at this point.
Yeah,
and we'll eat it up.
We'll eat it up and we'll put it on a podcast for you to listen to with your ears.
Do you know who you, the listeners, should team up with? Our Spotify channel. Yeah. Give it a follow.
Go listen and follow it and download it, and then also do it on YouTube as well, because the more likes means the more bikes we can buy.
We have 100% like ratio so far.
Yeah, so don't break it, you little germs, because
I should have said
break
that,
your legs. No, I shouldn't have said that either.
Although looking at the analytics, a lot of the time people don't listen past the first few minutes.
Yeah, we're sorry about that. We're working on it. But thank you for listening anyway. As much as you did, if it was 30 minutes or 30 seconds, we appreciate it all the same. Lewis, where can they find you?
You can find me at Creechmeister on literally everything in the world.
And you can find me at Geo Dursley at anywhere in the world. I'm not going to tell you how to spell it because you've got to figure that out. Your reward is my mediocre social media presence. But you can follow the podcast on YouTube. Like I say, we've got an email.
AvengersAssembledPod@gmail.com.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I was going to say that. And also on Instagram. Come find us and give us a follow and come chat with us. Tell us what your thoughts about WandaVision and any theories you've got, because obviously the series is coming to an end. I think we might I'm thinking we should do a nice feature episode about the whole series as a whole.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you've got any thoughts you want us to contribute, then let us know, and we'll have a discussion about it then.
Yeah,
and
we'll be back on Wednesday or Thursday with another topic, and then the following Sunday for next week's episode.
Yeah. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank
boys.
you for this. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Spread
Hope you
your
get lots
legs,
of flowers and chocolates. Whoa.
Yep. Whoa. And we'll see you soon.
See you next week.
Bye.
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 Bye.